Hello friends, once again welcome back to Physics Passion. Today I have come up with a video which will discuss Newton's laws of motion. So basically, as you know, there are three laws given by Newton which are known as Newton's laws of motion. These three laws make the base of the whole mechanics. So I will discuss these laws one by one. First is Newton's first law of motion. This is also known as law of inertia. A body continues to be in its state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line unless it is acted upon by some external effort to change its state. What does it state? It states a body at rest will remain at rest. A body in motion will remain in motion until unless it is acted upon by some external effort to change its state. This is what? This is pointing towards the inherent property of the body, which is inertia. That's why we call it as law of inertia. We can take several examples. For example, a body lying on the table, say, it will remain lying on the table as it is until unless someone lifts it. Means it is not changing its state of rest unless an external effort, which we call as force, that is applied on it. Another example may be a body rolling on the floor. Now this example appears contrary to this statement of first law, that a body in uniform motion along a straight line will remain as it is in its state of motion unless it is acted upon by some external force. You will say a body rolling on the floor, that will stop after some time, although we have not applied any force on it. But actually force is acting on it. This is the force of friction which comes into picture, which acts upon the body and stops it from moving, stops its motion. That's why a body continues to be in its state of rest or of uniform motion in a straight line unless it is acted upon by some external effort, which we call as force, to change its state. So the first law of motion represents the law of inertia, and as well as it also define the force. Okay. Next is Newton's second law of motion. It states that rate of change of momentum of the body is directly proportional to the impressed force and takes place in the direction of force. Means the force acting on a body is proportional to the rate of change of momentum of the body. Let me consider a body with mass m and which is moving with a velocity, say, v. Now the linear momentum of the body will be m into v. If we consider second law, as per second law, F, the force acting on the body, that is proportional to rate of change of linear momentum. Mean F is proportional to d by dt of mv, or F is equal to k is the constant of proportionality, m dv by dt. M is the mass of the body, which is constant. That's why F is equal to k m dv over dt. This dv over dt, this is nothing but rate of change of velocity with time. So this is the nothing but the acceleration. So F is equal to k m into a. Now unit of force is chosen and defined in such a way that this k is taken to be 1. Therefore F is equal to m into a, means force is equal to product of mass and acceleration. So second law of motion gives us the measurement of the force. Okay. Now we come to Newton's third law of motion. What does it state? It states for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. action is the force exerted by first body on the second body, and reaction you can say that is the force exerted by second body on the first body. So action and reaction are equal and opposite. We can very easily prove this statement. For this, let me consider two bodies A and B. These are the two bodies and they exist in the isolated system. Say m1 is the mass of body A, m2 is the mass of body B. Let body A collides with body B. There is a collision taking place between A and B. A collides with body B, and due to this collision, say there is change in velocities of A and B. Say delta V1 is the change in velocity of body A and delta V2 is the change in velocity of body B in the small time, say delta t. So if I consider the principle of conservation of linear momentum, then m1 delta v1 plus m2 delta v2, that is equal to 0. Momentum is conserved. So delta p1 plus delta p2 is equal to 0, or delta p1 is equal to minus delta p2. Now if I divide this p1 and p2, mean left hand side and right hand side, by delta t and take the limit delta t tends to 0, then I can write limit delta t tends to 0, delta p1 by delta t is equal to minus limit delta t tends to 0 again, delta p2 by delta t, or dp1 over dt equal to minus dp2 by dt. So what is dp1 by dt? Force acting on A, body A. And what is dp2 by dt? This is the force acting on body B. So force on A is equal to minus force on B, or we can say action equal to negative of reaction. Mean action and reaction are equal and opposite. This is nothing but the Newton's third law of motion. So for concluding, I can say Newton's first law of motion defines inertia and force. Newton's second law of motion gives us the measurement of force, and Newton's third law of motion explains the nature of forces, that they are equal and opposite. I hope you would like this video. Thanks for watching. I will come up with some other topic in the forthcoming videos. Thank you very much.